Welcome everyone to Haven of Horror. As always, I am Subject, and I have Robert the Puppet Wild. Robert,
Hello, detective.
no, that's the other guy. Noah's not here to be the other guy.
Oh, that would be who Noah is.
Yeah. Uh, we're here to rank some Saw movies. Now, if you're confused, Noah and I have done this before, but Saw 10 had not been out, and Robert wasn't there, and Robert has become the biggest Saw fan. He's crazy for them.
It's true that I have been inducted into this cult with open arms.
Robert just
Happy
really
to be
likes
here.
to. Robert really likes to play games. Uh
Yeah, who doesn't?
see, knows in the chat to do his thing. Hello, detective. Uh, that's like the only thing in that movie that I like, and I like it because it's stupid.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Robert. We're gonna do this kind of like our nightmare. I'll say mine, and then you'll say yours, and we'll kind of talk about it on yours. But I think we're gonna have the first, and we'll start from worst to best. I think we're gonna have the same worst though, which my number 10 is Spiral from the Book of Saw, if you can believe it.
My number 10 is also Spyro from the Book of Saw.
For a second there, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he's gonna have something else.
No. And this one's a real shame because on a technical level, and I mean, we've talked about this before. When this movie came out, it had like a tepid response. It was kind of mixed. This wasn't like hated by everyone out the gate. Like people wanted to like this movie. Like there was some hype for it. And then it's like, it just doesn't work. like and I think it's a great looking movie. I think the cinematography is fantastic. There's some good gore. I like what they're trying to do with it, but it's kind of all the it's a lot of the Saw cliches with in this case focusing on the cop plot, the police procedural, and it's just not done well, which is really
Well, and
unfortunate.
it's interesting because you're right, it did kind of just come out to tepid reviews. And I'd say this has just kind of been forgotten over hated. Like Saw 10 came out and just everybody kind of forgot about this one. Um,
Mhm.
but I remember being really excited. Whatever you may think of the man, an actor of Chris Rock's caliber wanting to do a Saw movie was unheard of by that point. Um,
Yeah, and in case I forget to bring up this point later, but did you know that after Jigsaw, the eighth one, the writers were developing Saw X. They
oh,
already had that in the works, and then Chris Rock comes in and is like, "Hey, I want to make a Saw movie," and then Saw X gets put, or whatever it was called at the time, gets put on hold to make the Spyro movie. And then after the response and I guess box office failure because this thing flopped pretty badly. Then they were like, okay, let's go back and try to do the last one. But then it makes you wonder, just hypothetically, if Saw X was the immediate follow up to Jigsaw, would it be as good as the Saw X we got? I don't know.
I don't know.
You know?
So one thing I will say, so this made 40 million on a 20 million budget. So it broke even.
Yeah.
However, to be fair to this movie, I don't know if you remember this. This came out in 2021.
Yeah, we were
Everything was
still
bombing.
COVID. Yeah.
I just I want to be a fly on the wall in the meeting where Chris Rock goes, I think I could make a Saw movie. I have an idea.
Yeah.
They got Samuel L. Jackson. I should have known that he'd be in this movie for like 3 scenes, but
Yeah. He's great though.
he is. He gives the best trailer line. You want to play a game, motherfucker? No. Moral of the story: don't listen to Chris Rock. It's true.
Yeah. Well, another behind the scenes tidbit I know is Chris Rock approached the writers and was like, "Hey, you guys handle the plot. I'll handle the funny stuff. I'll bring the funny and do the comedy." And this is not his best improv.
No, his entire
Uh,
performance is just screaming at people. And what's weird too. So, the only writer on this movie. So there's two writers, Josh Stolberg and Peter Goldfinger. Peter Goldfinger does not have a Wikipedia page, but Josh does. And he's very hit or miss. But he wrote Jigsaw, this, and Saw 10.
Yes.
Plus, he also wrote Piranha 3D. Uh, so I guess this script just he didn't care.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if it's just this isn't the movie they wanted to make, and it shows.
Yeah,
Where it's like again, it is the same writing team that did these last three movies, the Saw X. Spoiler alert, being the best of those, in my opinion. Hot take.
yes,
But I wonder if this was just a, oh, we have to make this Chris Rock cop movie now. Okay.
yeah.
Uh, and
Because yeah, I mean, even in the movie, Chris Rock seems to be the only one that that wants to be there.
mhm. Yep. So yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot else to say about Spiral. We did
If you want to
commentary
hear
on it.
more of our thoughts on that, go watch the commentary. So from this point on, I don't know how much we're gonna line up because obviously we've done commentaries. I think almost all of these at this point, but we've never actually discussed them.
There's one or two we're still missing.
Yeah, and I think it's like in the middle. My number 9 is Saw 7. Is that yours?
My number 9 is Jigsaw.
Oh, okay.
Much to your disappointment. Yeah,
Ah,
I didn't care much for this one. Sorry.
eh, I
It's
I like Tobin Bell. I like Supergirl from Smallville. I think she's interesting.
she's the most interesting character in it. Tobin Bell's great for the couple of scenes he gets. It My biggest hang up with this movie is it felt like a movie written by Saw fans, but like not in a good way, where it's like, hey, we're just gonna take all these ideas from the last seven and smush them together and not do them as well. Particularly the big twist with how it's manipulating time,
Hmm.
where it's like, yeah, Saw 2 did that better in my opinion, and there's a lot of that in this movie. But most positive thing I'll give it, if you just took the trap plot, and if you're watching this for some reason don't know, okay, it typically in Saw there is the trap plot where you got people stuck somewhere, then there's the torture porn stuff, and you got the cop plot, the police procedural element. You got two. These are the two sides of the coin of Saw, from the Book of Saw, and
Oh,
it
so there are
just
more chapters to this book. Okay.
oh, so many. You don't even know. You haven't read the appendices yet. But if you just look at the trap plot in this movie, I think it's pretty good. There's some good gore. Again, the actress who we know from Smallville, Supergirl, I think she's great in the movie. I think her character is really fucked up and interesting. All that stuff I really like. It's the cop plot where I think this movie really fails and has a twist with a new Jigsaw apprentice that I just don't jive with. That's too retconny, and part and you have Saw 7.
Yes, which I'd argue has way worse cop stuff.
They're about on par for me, but fair. But with that one, my biggest disappointment is Carrie Ellis. I feel like just being kind of wasted. Dr. Gordon only getting a couple scenes. But in that one, when you do get the twist that, oh, he's been there the whole time participating in all these movies, there's something fun about that and rewarding because we know that character, because we're invested.
Hmm.
This one doesn't click for me, where you invent this whole other new character who was there at the very beginning, before Amanda, before maybe not before Hoffman. I don't fucking know. This timeline's insane. But it's just, God, that character, Logan, doesn't work for me. It is my biggest hang up with the movie. But there's good stuff in it. I don't hate it, but it's my second to last. And my biggest surprise, to your earlier question, I think my biggest surprise going through this series was how into I got the convoluted soap opera of
No,
this
it's
series.
weirdly captivating.
And so rare for this type of franchise, like a Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw or whatever, where usually by the third or fourth movie, it's like, okay, we're just making it standalone. Like, forget about, we're treating these as their own
No,
one-off movies, you know?
yeah, I was talking to Hayden earlier. There is nothing like watching a Saw movie and you get to the end and you hear that Saw theme, and then you are treated to the most insane, out of nowhere, unpredictable plot twist of all time. It's peak.
It is. So with the first 7, it's like, wow, I got really into the just wild and crazy world. And then you get to part 8 where it's intended to be kind of a soft reboot, kind of a one-off, like, hey, this is also for people who haven't seen all the others. We're trying to make this more accessible. For me, to its detriment.
Yeah.
Where so yeah, Jigsaw, I didn't hate it, but that's why that's my number 9. It's got good stuff in it.
And I do want to point out that made $100 million on a $10 million budget, which is shocking.
Right?
Because I don't feel I'm the biggest Saw fan on the channel. I had no idea this movie happened until Spiral was coming out.
Yeah, you can correct me on this. I feel like maybe the first Purge movie might have come out at that point. Because I do remember the marketing having kind of that feel to it, so maybe they were just tapping into that audience. Because The Purge was a notable R-rated success, but I don't remember.
The Purge is 2013.
Okay, so well before.
Yeah, no, that movie. Because that and Paranormal Activity were kind of the next Saw in terms of being a yearly franchise.
And The Conjuring, I guess, was another big one at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was your number 8 then?
Let me pull it back up. My number 8 is Saw 5.
Okay, interesting. My number 8 is Saw 7. So now we can get into Saw 7.
My biggest problem, and I think part of it is because I saw this when it aired, or when it first came out, and like this was supposed to be the big conclusion. I think it's a shit conclusion.
If we never made another Saw movie, I'd probably be more down. I mean, that's also like my third.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if this is good.
And I think part of it that still holds it back is timeline wise, this is still technically the last one because I don't have to count Spiral. That's its own thing.
Well, I mean, half of Jigsaw.
Yeah.
After this movie, so take that.
But that also is so isolated and like.
Right.
But
it's weird.
In terms of the main story that you followed for 7 films, we have not picked up after this with the story threads in this.
Right, and to spoil the ending, it's like I just have to take the movie's word for it that Hoffman's dead, and most certainly they will never follow up on that. But part of why that ending is so unsatisfying with him getting locked up in the bathroom, like, oh my god, he's in the bathroom from Saw. It's like, we've already seen like 2 people escape this thing. I don't.
Yeah.
Like Hoffman escaped the bear trap, which is the most inescapable trap in this series.
And that might be the greatest thing he does in this franchise. It's so badass.
That scene's amazing, but you can't do the Donnie Wahlberg scene in 3 where he smashes his foot to get out of the chain and escape the bathroom, and then do that with another character and make me think, oh, that's it, they're dead.
Yeah.
Like, no. Everybody gets out of it. Well, not everybody, but I've seen too many people get out of that bathroom for that to be as satisfying.
And I like that in theory, because, you know, it's coming full circle. This is where it all began. But you're right. If you're going to do that, you can't show the bathroom at all in any of the other movies.
We went back to that well too many times.
Yeah.
The bathroom shows up in a lot of these.
Yes, it does. And I think that's part of the problem of, like, we love this continuity, but they're clearly making it up as they go. And it shows.
Yeah, and the ending we get for Jill, I think, is kind of unsatisfying.
It feels... I
don't love that.
This is also the one that I think feels really mean-spirited.
So mean-spirited. We've probably talked about this before, but that she was either married or engaged to one of the producers, and then she broke it off.
I think you brought that up in our commentary.
Boy, do you feel that energy in this movie.
Yeah, because this whole... Well, what's insane, too, is the main plot of this movie is Hoffman chasing her down like a slasher villain and outsmarting what's left of the city's police department.
And you have a protagonist whose wife or girlfriend is killed like in the most mean-spirited sequence of the whole series in a way that I don't think is earned or
Yeah.
necessary. And people are like, "What are you talking about? It's horror, it's torture porn, or whatever." It's like, no, but part of the appeal is that Jigsaw had a code. Whether it's consistent or not is debatable, but it's like usually by this point in the series, it turned into like you're seeing shitty people in these traps and see if they make it out or not. This is the most overt victim put in one of these and given a horrific death who absolutely does not deserve.
Well, and even in the traps where it's like there's a second person in the trap, they tie in with what the person's lesson is thematically in some way. This is just, well, if you don't do what you said you did, then your wife is gonna I can't even remember now. What is it? Does she gets like burned alive or?
Yeah. And it could have been so easy to rewrite that to just have her be in on it. Just
Yeah.
have her know.
Yeah, I don't know why they made her innocent and did that. And that's the other thing is I think this has one of the greatest ideas for a Saw victim,
Yes.
and it's kind of wasted.
And this one's Sean Patrick Flannery, right?
Hold on. I've got it right here. Yes.
Because I do like him in the movie, and if you're wondering why I put this above Jigsaw, it's a couple of things. I do like him, and the idea with him is really cool. This guy who faked being a Saw Trap survivor for the notoriety and fame, and now is put in that circumstance. So like, there are pieces of this movie I really like, and it's insane. And as you always talk about, the blood is pink. This is a one of the worst examples of a 3D movie from this era. And for me, it that puts it into like the so bad it's funny territory. Like, I was entertained by this movie at the very least.
I do still really love the opening trap for how stupid it is.
Also, very mean spirited.
Yes. I guess we're breaking up.
But I do like that scene. Yeah, and also with the first 6 movies where you have these two plots going on and this insane tapestry of characters and events, this is the one that hits that wall of, oh fuck, we killed off all of our cop characters. We got to make up some new ones, and they're really bland and uninteresting.
Yes.
So yeah, Saw 7, not a good conclusion, but it's got its moments. It's got ideas I like.
The Lincoln Park scene might be my favorite scene.
The junkyard sequence is fantastic. Lots of great gore there.
Yeah. All right, that was number 8. We've already talked about it. My number 7 is Jigsaw. It has a lot of problems, but it doesn't annoy me as much. What are number 7?
My number 7, and this is probably pretty low for most fans. This might be my biggest hot take. I mean, although to be clear, now I think we're, for me, past the bad ones. I think from this point on, I do like all of these to varying degree. My number 7 is Saw 4.
Oh wow!
Which has some cool stuff. I love the crazy transitions. This is the one where there's like a fist fight. People fall through a glass window or something, a mirror into another set.
No, it's great.
It's awesome. There's some great gore. It has some fun ideas with how it deals with the aftermath of John Kramer's death. I also just found this movie kind of a mess, and the most. And this will probably change on rewatch, but boy, was this one hard to follow and keep track of. Because this is like a sidequel to Saw 3, and also a prequel, and also a sequel, all at once. And I found it very messy.
Yeah. So, I will say, to follow up with what you said, when we're ranking these, keep in mind, anybody watching, the only one of these that I find has no redeeming qualities is Spiral. There is at least one thing I like in the other 9 films, even if they're lower on the list. Yeah, what I like about Saw 4 is it's the first one that takes place in the entire city This has the
That's
biggest
correct.
scope of them. I think
Yes.
even after. I like the protagonist and the idea of his lesson is sometimes you don't need to interfere. And spoilers, he doesn't learn that lesson, and he kills everyone's favorite Wahlberg.
I know. It's. I still don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's something. I guess I'm glad we eventually resolved that. It's just like, wow,
He has a great death though.
it is a good death.
Um,
Um,
Also, is this the only one that the opening ties in with the rest of the film?
okay, now remind me which one.
So this is the
Is the
one
opening?
that has the one that his mouth is sewn shut and the other's eyes are sewn
Okay.
shut, and the one whose mouth is sewn shut escapes, and then you find out he's the one in the control room playing another game, and he was Jigsaw's lawyer.
Okay. Yeah, because he becomes the Zep of that movie.
Yeah,
Like the it's like there's two types of Saw apprentices. There's like the real apprentices who like survive their traps and
yeah.
are initiated, and then there's like the under duress
Well,
force
and I feel bad for
apprentices.
him because he survived a trap and then has to do another one as an apprentice under duress.
Yeah, so and of course this is the one that really kicks off the Hoffman saga, which goes way too
Ah,
long,
yes. Hoffman
but it's
Hoffman's
kind of
most
funny.
interesting appearance is in Saw 10, and we have to put up with him for 4 movies.
The most positive thing I'll say about Hoffman is whenever he's on screen with John Kramer, I really like him.
Yes.
That's what I think the character works. Uh,
Uh,
take that however you want. But yeah, this one was a step down for me, but again, it's got its enjoyable moments.
it's kind of the growing pains, right? We're transitioning out of the Jigsaw era and into the Hoffman, and it's kind of, although this does set up the stage for 5 to just purely explain the twist at the end of 4, which is amazing.
And that in of itself is a part of the formula of like each movie for a while is gonna introduce something that you're gonna have to wait till the next movie to see the payoff to.
Hey, you got to go see it in theaters.
Because for the longest time after Saw X came out and everyone was raving about it, I was like, okay, I'll probably watch the first couple and then just skip to Saw X. Or what I predicted would happen was maybe I'll like the first three in Saw X and that's it. And one of the most positive things I'll say about the series is when even though 4 is kind of low, I was not prepared for how intricate this continuity would be and how invested I'd be in this mad world of Cityton. But I had a good time, for
Yeah,
better or even worse.
I think it was for the better.
Uh,
And that's something else that I don't think these movies get enough credit for. Is even characters I don't like Hoffman, I remember them.
that's true.
Um,
And how rare is it though for a horror franchise to have recurring cop characters?
Very
Like,
rare. Well, and because we had a conversation in the Discord the other day, like, why are there 10 Saw movies? And I'm like, they're telling a continuous story until 7. We don't start jumping around until 8.
yeah, I mean this isn't a great example, but you'll see what I mean. It's like asking, well, why are there 15 seasons of CSI?
Yeah.
It's like
People want
it's a TV
these.
show. Yeah, yeah,
And much like to our point earlier, these are still making money. Saw 10
yep.
made like $100 million. It reviewed better than an Exorcist sequel. That was what, your number
Wow.
6 or number 7?
Yes.
Which one?
That was my 7, I think.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because my number 6 is Saw 4.
Okay, which
Yeah.
we
So what
just
is your
talked about.
number 5?
Or my number 6.
Or sorry, yes, your number 6.
My number 6 is Saw 5.
Okay.
Which was a bit lower for you. And I think we just had a really good viewing of that movie when I first watched it. And you said like for you it was the best viewing of that movie
It is one
you
of the
ever
best
had.
viewings. So there is a lot I like about that, but it's mostly in concept. If I remember correctly, because that one and four run together a little bit, but that is the one with Darla from Buffy, and the actual trap in that one feels a little uninspired. But I like the
Mhm.
twist at the end where they realize, oh no, we were all supposed to survive this to get here, but we all stabbed each other in the back and killed each other, and now we don't. Now we can't win.
Yes,
Um,
it's a group trap like Saw 2 and like Jigsaw.
yes.
It's one of
But
those
what
where
stands up, what makes this one stand out is just the reveal at the end of when you get to the end is, oh, we're not supposed to do this by ourselves. The whole crew was supposed to survive until the end, but we all stabbed each other in the back and betrayed each other and argued. I think that says something about what these people think of humanity, and I can't disagree with them.
said. And one of my issues with Saw 4 is again, it's throwing a lot at you. I think it's very messy, but you also have like this new character Hoffman and this new character Strom, and they look identical, and I can't tell them apart, and it's very confusing. In Saw 5, I have a better feeling of who those characters are because of the Hoffman twist, and also what I like about 5 is it's a lot more
Focused
focused
on
than
them.
4. Yeah,
This also has,
the
I think, the
Strom,
greatest ending since the first one.
the ending's great. It's messed up, like it's a downer,
It makes me
but it's
wince
cool.
every time. So if anybody hasn't seen this, if you've ever wanted to know what would have happened to Luke, Leia, and Han in the trash compactor, watch this movie.
Yep. It's just rare you get to see a protagonist lose in that type of situation, so it
Well, and
stands out.
well, what's rare? I mean, this is a horror movie, so it's not rare in the genre, but rare for film. Arguably, Strom is the antagonist.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it.
I think this movie is structured where Hoffman is the protagonist.
Mm-hmm. And it's got that great opening where Straub has to stab himself in
Yeah,
his throat to not drown to death. Like that whole cat and mouse game,
it's
I was
so
really
good.
entertained by.
I think
And
this is the
I
only
think,
movie where I'm more interested in that than The Trap.
yeah, I agree. The trap plot in this one I think is just okay, but divorcing it like from the rest of the movie in terms of just Hoffman as a character, I think this is the best Hoffman one.
Yes.
There are other movies with Hoffman that I have higher than this, but just in terms of his character, I think this is the one where he's used the best because you get all that backstory with him and John that I
Yeah.
think is really cool. I like his motivation and his origin story with him being a Jigsaw copycat for his vengeance. And like you said, the ending's great. So I think this one uses Hoffman the best.
Yeah, it's funny because I
More than
think this
anything
one
else.
uses Hoffman the best and Saw 7 uses him the worst. However, I'm going to rewind to Saw 7 real quick because we forgot to mention the greatest thing in Saw 7, which is
Of
backwards
course.
cap Tobin Bell, which I need to be in Saw 11 so bad. It'd be even funnier now because it's like 20 years older.
That missed opportunity. Okay, the after credit scene of Saw X is good. There should have been a second post credit scene where you get a dress up montage and him putting on the backwards cap. Like, I have more to do. I
I
have a
I
shot of
might
Mr.
change
Flannery to see.
I might change the thumbnail of this video to that.
As you should. But yes, it would be
Um,
horrible if we didn't mention that. Yeah,
yeah,
funniest John Kramer scene of this
yeah.
series.
'Cause
So good.
why are you dressed like that? You never dressed like that before in the entire series.
And that's where it's like there are different John Kramer phases. Like, remember, he's got his bald phase with the soul patch for a
Yes.
little bit, and it's like, wait, which one happened? Like, oh god, it's so much to keep track of, dude.
No, he. What I love about John Kramer, and I don't, I think people who don't watch these movies don't realize he is a super villain. He is a comic book super villain,
100%. Yeah.
and it's amazing. These are some of the best comic book movies that aren't based on a comic book.
I agree.
We need to
And
convince Cap these are superhero movies.
and then in stuff like Arkham City and Matt Reeves as the Batman, we got a Jigsaw inspired take on the Riddler that I always wanted and thought
Yeah,
would be cool. these things are always informing each other,
No, it's great.
whether intentionally or unintentionally. I love it.
So we're on number 5 now. Yes.
Yes, so my number 6 was Saw 5. And the last thing I want to say on that is that one is maybe the most polarizing in the series. Like, a lot of people hate it and think
Oh,
it's
okay. I
the
didn't know that.
worst one. Yeah, and I
I just can't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't see how you could say it's the worst one after Seven or Spiral, but yeah,
Yeah.
I had a good time with it. But it's
This
my number 6.
this might ruffle some feathers because I don't know how that's received in the fandom. But my number 5 is Saw 6.
Interesting. Okay.
I think this is the best of the later half of that first run. But we'll get into it more when we get it on your spot. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is Saw 3.
Oh.
Which I like.
Mhm.
Another kind of divisive one. A lot of people love it. Again, there's good stuff, but it's funny. Like, obviously, Saw 7, I think, is a much worse conclusion. I still don't love this as it, like, to that original trilogy. I don't love this as a conclusion. It's more like I've just accepted it. And I think the fans have accepted it, like slow ass motherfucking Jeff.
Yeah.
Who's the one who killed John Kramer. We've never retconned that.
No.
And boy, do I think killing off Amanda's a mistake.
Killing off Amanda is a huge mistake. So I'll just say it now, just because when we get there. But that is my number 4, and I only put that above Saw 6 because it still does have Tobin Bell outside of flashbacks. I think this has some of the best traps in the franchise. The one with the arms that turn makes me squirm every time. There's some really unintentionally funny things like slow motherfucking Jeff. Like, I didn't do it. Let her go. As he lets this woman freeze to death. Like, I think Jeff is so slow that it becomes funny at a point where I'm like, why are you just standing there? Well, and I feel really bad for that woman at the beginning, because isn't her crime just like she lied on the stand or something?
Yeah, or she was like a witness and didn't report it.
Or didn't come forward, because, Jigsaw knows these things.
It's, oh god. There are so many flashbacks to things that happened, and you're like, how do you know this?
Yes. So she is the only witness who refused to testify. And he just stands there like, I think she might deserve to freeze to death for this.
Yeah.
Is he the most unlikable test subject?
I wouldn't say that, because the guy in 6 is pretty bad. Which the movie is aware of, like, that's part of the point. Or I guess Jeff's probably more likable than the one in 7.
But see, I think the thing with 6, and we'll get into it more, he learns his lesson by the end of that. Jeff doesn't.
That's true. But hey, like, look, it made my upper half. It
yeah,
my top 5. Like, I like the movie. I just didn't like it as much as the first 2.
Well, I'm shocked that you don't like Jeff, because I don't know if you know this, but he's Jor-El in Superman and Lois.
I did know that, which is very funny. And no, I think he's hilarious. Like, I don't know what to do with it. And then again, when you get the later sequels, it's like, John, not you, John Kramer. Why is Jeff the one you're spending all, like, your time and energy on when you're dying? But then it's like, oh, the insurance guy really fucked me over. Like, I'll be dead
later.
We'll get to him in a few. Why is that on the back burner? Why is Jeff the one that takes priority? It's just really funny.
No, that's so hilarious. Also, I have another reason to hate Jeff. That actor is the final villain on Chuck. And I hate the twist at the end of that season. So this is a tangent. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with it, but slight spoilers for a show that nobody but me cares about. So that's like a spy comedy with Zachary Levi. It's his best role, by the way. And one of the things of that is a will they, won't they thing. But then because the show manages to survive to a fifth season due to fan demand. They go, well, even though we're on shaky legs, the plot of this season is going to be that the villain erases Chuck's love interest memory with the supercomputer that is like the MacGuffin of this show. And then we're going to end on a cliffhanger of she might remember. It's up to you. I have never been madder at a fucking finale.
That's rough.
And it's Jeff that did it.
Goddamn Jeff.
Yeah.
But and then his wife, I think, is one of the most likable characters in like the Saw trap scenario. I think she's great.
No, she is.
Who's operating on John Kramer.
And I think that is a great example of Jigsaw doesn't kill her, she dies because Jeff won't learn his lesson.
Yeah.
But it is a little,
Amanda.
to be fair, yeah, it is a little muddled because Amanda refuses to take off the damn collar. Which, okay, so we gotta talk about this. So Amanda starts acting wildly out of character in this movie. Because that's not how she was acting in 2. And then is it 4 or 5 that we learn that Hoffman knows that she was the one who sent the guy in to get the drugs and accidentally killed John's unborn baby because he smashed the door into Jill's gut. But she doesn't think that John knows, despite John knowing everything that has ever happened to anyone in the world. So she goes along with this blackmail, which kills her. So Hoffman is the one that kills Amanda, technically. Did that make sense?
Yes. I think it's 6.
Is it all the way in 6?
I will double check this.
That is an insane amount of time to wait for that retcon.
Yeah. Shawnee Smith returns as Amanda in 6, so that's when
okay.
You get the flashbacks. It takes a while.
I've never loved that choice. It just felt like somebody went, Amanda's acting really weird in 3, and just her crashing out over Jigsaw dying doesn't explain that.
Yeah, because at the end of 2, it's very clear, like, she is the heir apparent. That's what the plan is. Like, John Kramer's gonna die of cancer, because we made that an integral part of his character. And then, if we keep making a bajillion sequels, Amanda's probably gonna be...
And I think she could have carried them.
That's probably what they should have done. As is, I'm still satisfied with the insane Looney Tunes shenanigans that we got, but I think on first 2 I was just very mixed on the end of her character. But the flashbacks in 6 you were talking about, I think, do a decent job, as convoluted as it is, reframing the whole thing and making that work better. I also have some thoughts on that when you get to Saw X.
Yes.
Because Saw X is really satisfying and just giving you more of Amanda.
Yes.
Which I really appreciated.
Well, and I think the best idea in this movie is Amanda doesn't get it. Mm-hmm. Because there's a very noticeable difference in at least one of the traps in this. Actually, I think all of them. Where it's like, well, wait, how were they supposed to get out of that? And at first, I could see a person being like, well, this is the third one, they're just getting lazy, like they're not thinking about it. But, and the main one I go to is that cop woman who has the things in her ribs and has to dip her hand in fucking acid to get the key out. Yeah. But then you learn, no, it's not an accident. Amanda doesn't get it. And I think that's the main reason to keep her alive is I think that's a compelling arc of her finally getting it. Getting to that point where she goes, this is what John was talking about.
Well, and the lady you were talking about, Carrie, played by Dina Meyer, that was also disappointing because, like, I would have liked to have seen her as a protagonist of a Saw movie.
Yeah.
And, like, it feels like we missed, like, because, like, the one cop guy introduced in 2 gets to be the protagonist.
She should have been the protagonist of 4.
Maybe. I like that guy fine. But it feels like she should have gotten a Saw movie as a protagonist, not just side character who dies in the third act of 3. So yeah, don't love that choice, but like you said, good ideas.
Yeah.
I think more than I mean, aside from Saw 4 just being kind of a mess and having way too much going on, 3 feels like that could have been a couple of movies just in that everyone agrees. By Saw 2, you guys understand how successful these movies are. I get that John Kramer has cancer and you want to pay that off, but you could have waited till the fourth or fifth movie to do. I feel like the fandom as a whole feels that. Like, why did we kill him in the third one?
Mm-hmm.
Which then just becomes funny with all the flashbacks and retcons to keep him around. But it's like, yeah, you guys know how horror sequels work, right? You didn't have to kill him in the third one. You could have waited till 4 or 5 to do that.
Well, it's so funny if you go to the Wikipedia page and you look up characters like Lynn, the nurse in this, appears in Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw 3D. She dies in the same movie she's introduced. And I, I don't often agree with them, and I hate to cite them, but Screen Rant, and I agree with them on this, described Lynn as one of the characters in the franchise who did not deserve her fate, being paired with Joyce Dagan, who I can't remember who that is off the top of my head, and described her as a woman being dragged down by her husband's failure as a person. And I think that's one of the franchise's smarter moments of kind of commentary on, like, this guy is so far gone, he's dragging everyone down with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate. Fuck you, Jeff.
Well, that was Saw 3, which was my number 5. So, what is your number 4?
Oh! Joyce is Saw 7 guy's wife.
Okay, that's what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
But see, I don't think she's dragged down by her failures of a husband. That's just a fucked trap.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, what was that number for you? What number for you was that? 5?
That was 5.
Okay, so my number 4 is Saw 3.
Okay, which we just talked about extensively.
Yes. What is your number 4?
More of thoughts on Saw 3. Rewind
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes. Okay, so my number 4 is Saw 6.
Okay.
So a little bit higher than it was.
This one raised quite a bit when we watched it. I think this movie is not smart enough for a proper commentary on the insurance companies. But the traps are better. This is the one I think with the carousel, the shotgun carousel, which is a good one. This has some weird cameos. Like, we discovered that guy from Family Matters is in this for some reason. Mm-hmm. I think this is one of the big protagonists that you can see him learning from his mistakes as the franchise goes on. And I think one of the ones that I feel bad for, because at the end of the day, and it's interesting that this is paired with both of us so close to 3, because both of them are also commentaries on revenge, which I think we're just discovering you and I like those kind of stories, commentaries on revenge. Because at the end of the day, what kills him is somebody else not being able to move on.
Yep.
And he gets a horrifying death, too.
Yeah, poor guy. And then, God, like, what is it? His sister who has to watch?
No, because it's the greatest twist in the movie. So the whole time you think that this kid and this woman are related to the insurance guy, but you find out they're the wife and son of the guy from the flashbacks, and the journalist that up until now has had nothing to do with the rest of the film is actually his sister. And then he dies horrifically in front of her because that kid can't forgive him.
That's the problem with Saw 7, is they should have brought her back.
Yes.
And had her going after that family.
No, that would have been amazing. Are you kidding?
Yeah, so I for what it is, I do like the social commentary. I like the insurance angle. And then it's just really cool that they take this idea and then expand on it in Saw X. It would be really weird to watch those two movies back to back, but it would be interesting to see how they play together since they're about of the same things.
And you get some great John monologues. Can we rank these again, but by John Kramer monologues?
and by John Kramer outfits. I mean, when I finally get on Letterboxd, it's just gonna be full of Saw
Leatherbox.
rank Leatherbox. It's gonna be full of Saw rankings. I'm gonna do my John Kramer wardrobe ranking, my John Kramer monologue ranking.
Yeah.
The correct way to rank these movies. Just whatever
Well,
this
and
is.
he's kind of rocking the same look he'll rock for the rest of it in this one, where he's just kind of got almost a full head of hair and.
Mhm. And as we just said, you get the Amanda flashbacks,
Yeah.
and that's fun. Also, one of the few films to have a after credit scene.
Is this the one where they pay off Jeff's daughter?
I think so. But God, because it's an after credit scene with Amanda going to see Jeff, but like it doesn't really go anywhere.
No, just feels we didn't forget. See?
Yeah, and God, this is like the real double-edged sword of this movie. On the one hand, it is insane and ridiculous that Hoffman survives this movie, and we have to do another one with this fucker. But it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's this movie in a nutshell. It's just like that was dumb. That was awesome though. Also,
and
as from a filmmaking perspective, that first chop with the breathing, the way it just like cuts out all other sound is just really clever.
mhm. And then yeah, not to spoil the rest of my list, but it's like you have the first three Saw movies and Saw X that I actually think make a pretty good four-parter. Very fulfilling. Saw 6 is weird because I don't see myself ever just throwing it on as just a Saw movie. I feel like if I ever revisit this movie, it'll be when I'm knee deep and doing a whole
Well, that's kind of the
watch through of
unfortunate part
Saga.
of these later sequels. I'm a huge Saw fan. I'm not gonna just throw on Saw 6.
Right.
Uh if I'm doing that, I'm doing a franchise watch.
Yeah, and not to speak for you, but I would guess because I have seen your old ranking with Noah. I would guess that's why Jigsaw was probably higher than 6 for you at the time, was because it was more standalone. I think that was probably a factor.
And I had a really good viewing when I showed it to Noah. I was like, "Oh, yeah, they just made a Saw movie." I didn't really have an opinion on what's that guy's
6.
name?
Logan.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. That's a new apprentice. And I don't even hate that movie. It's just, yeah, that's dumb. The more I think about it,
Hmm. But and then Saw 6, you had I think you had a better viewing of when you showed it to me.
I
For,
did. I was like, oh
for
no,
ranking.
wait,
So
this is the one that's kind of cool. Like, there's, you know, they're
yeah,
they're cooking again.
it's a yeah, it's Saw 6, but it's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is why, and so this made 70 million on a budget of 11 million, which is good. And I have to give kudos to Lionsgate for going, these are still making money, but maybe we should take a break. But then advertising 7 as the last chapter also made them like 130 million on a 17 million dollar budget. So
I know.
can we
Yeah,
can we
because
get back to these kind of movies, sub 20 million dollar budgets that makes a few hundred million at the box office and you made money. Also, another thing we forgot to talk about with Saw 3D. Now I feel like we just rushed. This has the greatest poster of all time. Why is there like a Toku Jigsaw thing on the poster, and why isn't that in the movie?
that okay, this is ridiculous. It'd be a really fun ranking to do best horror movie posters where the thing on the poster is not in the movie because I feel like there's a lot of those.
Evil Dead 2 wins.
Oh, that's a good one. Sure.
That skull with the
Yeah.
eyes, that's not in the movie. Fuck
I
you,
was just
Sam
thinking
Raimi.
of I was just thinking of Jason Goes to Hell with
Yeah, the
metal,
metal hockey
mask.
mask. Um,
But yeah, that is a conversation for another time.
yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
that was number 4. Yes.
Yeah, what was your number 4?
Saw 3, and yours was 6.
Okay.
So my number
Okay.
3 is the original Saw, the one that started it
Oh,
all.
yeah. Yeah. I think it's a good picture.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 is Saw 2 for
Okay.
the PS2. Saw 2 is great. It's a great sequel. Gives you exactly what you want. It's more of the first movie while doing something very different. The big thing this had going for it, and I think was its big crown, arguably, until Saw X, is if you just want a John Kramer movie,
This
this
is
is
the
the one you
John
got.
Kramer movie.
Yeah, he's in the whole thing, and he's great.
No, and
Uh,
Tobin, from scene 1, Tobin Bell is not playing this like schlock. He is playing this like it's goddamn Shakespeare.
and it's amazing
It's
to watch.
yeah. Oh yes, there will be blood.
Yeah, it's got a great twist. It's got a great trap plot. It's got a great cop plot. Like they're both in tandem so well. It's great. I love the style of this movie. I love the direction. It's gross. It's got the needle pit sequence, which is fucked up. The only thing is, because it's so gross, I probably won't rewatch this movie as much as you will. Like, this isn't my favorite kind of horror movie, but I do like it and I respect it. And
Yeah.
I'll say that about all of these. Like, I like a lot of these movies. This isn't my favorite thing. Like, this isn't entirely my cup of tea. There are horror movies I still like more that I'll go to more just based on vibes and subject matter. But I do appreciate the whole thing. I certainly had fun going through all of these with you,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I did.
This is so early 2000s, the editing, which
Mhm.
we haven't talked about yet, but this takes what should be an annoying early 2000s trend and makes it an identity with the whack like music video editing.
Mm-hmm. Again, it just embraces it as part of the style. It's very colorful. This is one of the most colorful Saw movies. Like, it's just, you've got the scenes bathed in yellow, you got the scenes bathed in green. Like, it's very
Get some
stylish.
orange with the
Really
fire.
cool.
Poor
Mhm.
poor Obi.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say about this movie just because we just did a commentary on
Yeah.
Saw 2 for the
So what I will
20th
say, if
anniversary.
nobody wants to watch it, I love the haunted house take. When we talked about this in the commentary, but this solidifies the second Saw formula, which is a bunch of people in a house with a bunch of traps. The needle pit is one of the greatest ideas anybody's ever had in these movies. It will make you squirm no matter how many times you've seen it. And a large part of that is Shawnee Smith's performance. I think this is her best performance outside of maybe 10. I think she's great, and the twist, which should lose sympathy, make her lose sympathy because she's spinning on it, doesn't. Although we didn't talk about this in the commentary. What you know how Cap has questions for Jarrell when he gets to heaven. This is my question for Jigsaw when I get to heaven. Did you know that Xavier was going to freak out and go around murdering everyone? Did you warn Amanda of this?
And okay, this is a guess on my part, and maybe this is made more clear in the movie than I remember. She's not poisoned, right?
They don't
Or
make
is
it
she?
clear, but I there's no outward dialogue, but she's the only one at the end that doesn't look ill. So I hazard a guess she was not poisoned.
That would be the more logical answer, but it's also this series, and I can't make that assumption.
That is true. Amanda, you've already proven yourself, but you must poison yourself and go into this game.
This also has the best John Kramer wordplay in the entire
Yes.
series.
No, that motherfucker loves his puns, and this is the best one.
He's the scariest horror antagonist because he's just dad jokes.
Yeah.
Dad jokes all the time. He's in a safe place.
And there's a safe right there.
That's
yeah.
so good.
And what I like about this movie too is I don't love Eric Matthews as a character. You know, everybody's favorite Wahlberg. But he's another character that doesn't learn his lesson.
Hmm.
But it does. But what I like about this one is, really, it only affects him. You know, he doesn't get his like a wife killed. His son does end up
Yeah.
safe. We never see that
I
kid again, by the way.
Yeah, like we know he's fine. I do have mixed feelings about never bringing his son back, just because I feel like there's something interesting you could have done with him. Because yeah, the life of Eric Matthews does not end well. Uh,
No, they should have brought him back for Saw 11.
yeah, dude, there's a lot of characters that could have brought back for Saw 11. They could have brought back Jeff's daughter. Just every side character that's still alive. Just throw them all into Saw 11. I'll watch it. Carrie Elwes, get him back. He should be the main villain. Yeah, that's Saw 2. At my number 3.
Last thing I want to say about that is another one that makes me cringe, and no matter how many times I've seen it, is the lady from Smallville, because it's cringy, but it's also funny. She gets her hand stuck in a thing with razor blades, so her bright idea is to stick her other hand into the damn thing. How long do you think she stayed there before she died?
She could still be alive. You don't know. Some say she's standing there to this very day.
Menacingly. All right, that was your number 3.
Yes.
My number 2 is Saw X.
Oh my god. And my number 2 is Saw 1.
The one that started it all.
Uh,
I said I think 6 has one of the greatest twists. I will argue not only does this have one of the greatest twists in the franchise, I think it's one of the greatest movie twists of all time. When that dead body in the middle of the bathroom stands up, my jaw hit the floor the first time I watched this.
and I wish I got to have that experience, because
Yeah.
I knew the twist before I watched the movie. Boy, do I wish I had gotten to see this just completely blind. That's the main thing that hurts it, and that's a big thing Saw 2 is going for it, is in terms of like the cultural osmosis and the zeitgeist. If you're just some rando, like you are much less likely to know the twists of 2 or the other sequels than you are the first one.
Yeah.
So once you start watching these, then you're going to get the really fun stuff that surprises you, which was my experience. But even knowing the twist, Saw 1, it's just so my vibe. It's like a bottle film. It's a psychological thriller. It's just two guys in a bathroom for a lot of it, and it's a fun time.
And then that
Um,
bathroom will keep coming back over and over. And
and
we're going to talk about this later, but I'm glad this just came to mind. We're in the middle of a Scream advertising campaign. And that movie also has a place that will not go away.
yeah,
We keep doing it. But no, what's cool about this movie is how much of the foundation is already there. This isn't like a Friday the 13th where everything, the stuff that everyone knows is in the sequels. A lot of the stuff that people know from this is already there at the beginning.
you got the puppet, you got
Yeah.
the twist, you got the music, you got Pig Mask,
The Pigman.
oh, the Pigman. It's really cool how much like iconography from this series comes from the very first one.
Yeah. The cassette tape. The
Hello, Zep.
I really want one of these to have a scene where John Kramer is sitting there recording all of these.
Do you realize how long this takes? I have to edit out my breaths and my coughs. Like, it's fucking tedious. I have a month left to live, and I've spent 3 weeks of that just recording tapes. It's exhausting.
And you know he's got his puns here too. What is that one? Close your eyes and you'll see the X marks the spot or something. And it's like, oh, turn off the light. Also, when Adam sticks his hand in that toilet.
Okay, that is the grossest part of this movie. Also, the dumbest part. No human being is gonna look at that heart and think, oh, there's something in the toilet. No, the first thing you do is you take the lid off and you check up there first.
No, that 100% just exists to gross out the audience by him sticking his hand in dirty toilet water.
Yep. So
Uh,
that's the ickiest part of the movie.
so let me
The
ask you
rest
this. So this is Lee Winnell, the writer, is Adam, I think. He has some of the best bad acting in this. How do you feel about that scene where he pretends to get electrified?
I love it. I think that scene's great. He gets a lot of flack for his acting, and sure, I don't think he's a great actor, but I like that duo a lot. I think they bounce off
See,
each
I
other.
don't even think he's bad 90% of the movie. It's just that one scene where I think he's trying too hard to be a bad actor.
I think it's funny. And then you have Carrie Elwes, who his American accent's not great, but I don't care. I love Carrie Elwes. I think the show
Also,
works.
for a debut horror film, this has an insane cast. Danny
Mhm.
Glover, Carrie Elwes.
Yeah, for at this low of a budget, they got some good names and people who believed in it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and it's cool that Amanda is there from the beginning. Like, we don't just bring her in two and go, she survived at some point, during the first one, or she's in it from the first one. And for anybody that doesn't know, this only had a budget of like $1 million.
mhm,
You don't get Danny Glover in $1 million movie, like a $1 million movie that often.
for sure. And some of my gripes that I had with it that we talked about in the commentary do still stand. Like, I don't think this is a perfect movie.
No.
As no movie is. Like, it's flawed, but there's a charm to it that I couldn't fully appreciate until I watched all the sequels. So I really like it. It's my number two.
Real
Again,
quick, speaking of movie posters where, like, that's not in the movie, I think all of these movies have that. Have you ever seen the original theatrical poster for this movie?
it's not the one of the foot.
No, it's just a hand with the
Oh,
word saw under. Whose hand is that? What?
whose hand is that? It's funny.
I
Also,
I
then
maintain also this is still Bond's best movie.
yeah, probably. Like, I do like the direction. The editing and stuff is hit or miss for me, just for my sensibilities. But for what it is, I think it's stylish and entertaining.
Yeah.
It's got a great setup and premise. Again, the only downside, just for the sake of the mystery, is just how little Tobin Bell you get in this first one, which is what Saw 2 really delivers on.
Yeah.
Um, and your number two was Saw X, right?
Yes.
Which means your number one is.
Saw 2.
Yep.
Which we just talked about.
And again, just depending on what you want out of these movies, totally get preferring that to the first one because Saw 2 is great.
And I will say, like, at least 2 and X are like neck and neck. I could easily flip them on my list and still be happy with it. What we already know, but what is your number one?
Well, my number one is Saw X. I loved it.
It's so good.
Loved it. I said this recently that it's not like the quintessential Saw movie and that it has everything in it, like everything you expect or know from Saw. You don't get everything in it, but that's part of what makes it so good. Because as much as I love the police procedural cop plot stuff in most of the other movies, this is the 10th one. It made the wise choice in just saying we are not doing any of that and just making the John Kramer story and getting you invested in this trap and making half the movie a build up to the Saw trap, and it totally works. This is something that could have fallen on its face so easily for many reasons, and it works.
I think this is the movie that it's more testament than any of the others. Even though you could say this for any of them, but the testament of how important Tobin Bell is to this role. To the point, I will say that he is as important to Jigsaw as Robert Englund is to Freddy Krueger. I think he has earned that level.
Absolutely. Yeah, and he gives a really great performance in this. Like, I think for me, this has the strongest story in the series. It has great ideas. It pulls just enough pieces and puzzle pieces, if you will, from the previous Saw movies, and not doing superfluous ones, and not like it is shocking how well this walks that tightrope of being a completely accessible Saw movie for somebody who's never watched one of these, and being completely standalone, and also so seamlessly fitting in between the first two,
Yeah.
and not feeling like it's really redlining or
I
changing anything.
If I can get away with it, I would love to show this one to Cap.
It's the one I think he'd like. I'm sure he. Well, I don't know if he'd like to watch it. I'm sure he'd be curious to watch the first one just for his like historical
Historical.
perspective and context. Um, but I would guess that this would be his favorite. I think this one is, as opposed to Saw 2, which is your favorite, which is
No,
great.
you can't show him that one.
No, but there are more people I think who aren't into this franchise that would like this one.
Yes.
That would get into this story. That being said, it does not hold back on the gore.
No.
It gets very gory, where it's like, okay, maybe I won't show this to
Yeah.
a certain friend, because like this is still a hard R movie.
Yeah.
Just because it's more, again, psychological and story driven and character driven, I should say, than some of the others. It does not skimp on the traps.
And
this is a very gory movie.
This has my favorite Hoffman appearance, which I think part of that is I didn't know he was in this when I watched it.
Great.
And I was like, oh, I don't like you normally, but I'm kind of happy you're here.
I clapped when he showed up.
Also, real quick, I'm looking at Tobin Bell's filmography. I have never been tempted to watch a soap opera, but he was on 5 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Oh my god.
As a character named Yo Ling. And I need to know what's happening with that.
Well, why aren't we watching this right now? Dude, that's what shared cinematic universes are missing. Like, well, why can't we have the soap opera with like Dr. Gordon and John Kramer, and all the trap stuff is happening in the movies, but there's also this soap opera going on? Because that's Saw is basically a soap opera.
This is amazing. I found his Wikipedia page. Are you ready to meet Yo Ling?
Oh, I am so ready. Why are we watching this?
They killed him, those bastards.
No. Just like John Kramer. Well, it's fine. They killed him and then kept bringing him back in flashbacks.
That's true.
In this whole movie,
oh, he's like a super villain in this show. Okay. I may have to find these episodes.
Clearly, we've been sleeping on Days of Our Lives.
Apparently. Well, it's funny too, because I think I know we're on a tangent. We'll get back to Sauce 10 in a minute. I'm reading this. You're a Friends guy, right?
Yeah, I love Friends.
A lot of what I'm reading here is the kind of shit Friends was making fun of in the 90s.
With Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah. But no, Saw X has some great traps. It feels like there's an energy that Jigsaw and Spiral didn't have. However, I am a little upset that Jigsaw exists, because that should have been what this movie's named, to go along with the trend, with Logan, and this one could be Jigsaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, I love the way Amanda's used in this, to the point where when you factor this into the first 3, it makes me a little less annoyed by her death, because now I have more fulfillment with that character. that I think we just missed by killing her off so early. And also, okay, so one of the original plans for Saw 11 was before it got canceled or whatever that thing turns into now that James Wan is involved again with Blumhouse.
Ugh.
One of the plans was to pick up immediately after this with Cecilia, who survives at the end of this movie and is both a great villain and absolutely despicable. Like arguably the most evil character in this whole franchise. And God, that's annoying that we can't pay that off. Probably. Why this one? It got critical acclaim, made a ton of money. Why wouldn't you make a direct sequel to this one? I'll never understand. But what I wanted to mention earlier that I do like about where we leave this and some of the scenes we get with Amanda is if you interpret this as Amanda thinking, one way I think you could look at this movie and how it relates to the others is Amanda thinking, well, Cecilia won and lived. That's kind of bullshit. Maybe I don't think some of these people should survive their traps, which informs her character in 3 and her mistakes. So if you look at it from that perspective, it kind of works because there are a couple of those conversations, like with the drug addict girl that Amanda identifies with and is rooting for, and then with Cecilia, she's like, I don't think Cecilia deserves a chance. Like, I think John Kramer says something to that effect of, no, she deserves her chance. It's part of the game. Like, it's part of the rules, and Amanda's not fully vibing with that.
Mhm.
So, when viewed from that with that lens, it actually does make Amanda's fall make a little more sense to me, with her disillusionment and where she goes down the wrong path and not listening to John. And I think that's cool.
Yeah. Well, and to your point, that drug addict technically survived. She only dies because of Cecilia.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, that movie ends on a very, like, light, optimistic note, but it does make you wonder, like, okay, well, what's the conversation John's having with Amanda?
Yeah. Well, and
later.
What else I like about this is, okay, there's two things. One, the first half is like a Hallmark movie about a guy trying to survive cancer, and then it becomes a Saw movie, which is beautiful. That's why that's one of the things I kind of want to show Cap, is like trick him into thinking it's just a normal movie at first. But I like that even with this character-driven, drama-focused, Jigsaw still knows everything about everyone all the time, and he has figured out that this guy is going to come here, betray pretend to be somebody else, betray them. The Jigsaw is going to get put into this trap and have to choke on, was it blood or motor oil or something?
I think it's blood.
Yeah, I think it's blood. Until they go into this room and they trigger their real test. It's amazing. You still get, and you get that Saw music. That Saw music, one of the best horror themes of all time. And maybe it's just because I'm like a trained SEAL with these now. When that kicks in, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Let's see the big twist.
Hello, Zep. The character everyone forgot about, and it's really funny that is forever synonymous with the main theme song.
Yeah.
Okay, so like going into Saw 1, right? Like I knew the big twist at the end. I didn't know Michael Emerson was in that movie.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was a surprise to me. And then it's like the theme song is Hello, Zep. It's like, who the fuck is that guy?
Hello, Zep. I want to play.
Yeah. And then at the end, like, he really should have said, like, welcome to my world, bitch.
Oh, let's rewind to Saw 1, because I don't know if we talked about this in the commentary. I have one thing I've always wondered about that. What did Zep do?
He's just a weirdo. Like, he did something.
Also, to your point, I think it's in 8. Don't they say that 8 Logan is the one that swaps the medical files?
Yes.
Isn't there something in, I think, the first one that it was Gordon that did that?
I think so. But my brain is fried and I need to rewatch these movies.
You just watch them take notes.
So many notes.
So many.
Yeah.
Because I
But
feel
go
like we'd already gotten an answer on how his cancer went undiagnosed.
Mhm. Oh God, yeah. Whew. There's a lot of character, and again, back to the first movie. I still think, like you said, it is a flawed film. It's still very convoluted and more complicated than it needs to be. But that's also part of the charm and the fun of this series,
Yeah.
where they just embrace that. And Saw X gives you just enough of that silliness with its twists and turns and reveals. And I was worried. I was like, oh no, is this gonna fall apart at the end? Like, is this going too far? But it sticks the landing. Like, it doesn't go too off the rails.
Yeah.
But it
Well, and
still has the yeah moments.
and for those that weren't there, at the height of Saw, that was, our generation's Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. It was everywhere. They showed these on TV.
Which is hilarious. And if it's Halloween, it must be Saw.
Yeah. No, because I remember showing my mom some of these on, because Sci-Fi been at a marathon of them.
Yeah, and most, at least the first 7, most of these were put out October every year.
Every year. I went to see them every year.
That's something even Halloween couldn't commit to.
Yeah.
And H2O, they're like, fuck you, these are summer movies now for some reason.
Yeah, no. Billy the Puppet was everywhere. I Want to Play a Game was everywhere.
I think the 2020s have been a really great renaissance for horror. We've had a lot of great horror movies we've talked about on this channel. A lot of great variety.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Including Saw X. I just think the one thing we're missing is we don't, even if it's complete schlock, we're just missing that yearly quick franchise of just we know it's schlock, we don't care, we're just pumping these out.
That is our Saw ranking. If they ever come back, we'll do another one of these. Saw 11 or just don't do it. That's where I'm at. Because if you reboot, my worry is you're going to get somebody that's just trying to do a Tobin Bell.
Yeah. It's the pitch is we're going to get back to basics and a restart for a new generation. And it's like, but Saw X, that proves you could just use what you have and people will come.
And maybe this is my old man moment. I don't think these movies will ever appeal to this current generation. They can't even handle the Terrifier movies.
Yeah, and like you said, Tobin Bell is John Kramer. That's not somebody you want to see recast anytime soon. And I don't know, it's a weirdly incomplete series. There's a lot of loose threads and unsatisfying shit.
Yeah, unless they're saying we're gonna make the true Saw 8, and pick up with Carrie Ulvaeus,
which is what I'd want. If the first thing we hear about that movie is, hey, Carrie Elwes is coming back, he's gonna be the main character, then I'm on board.
I would be curious. Just for the love of God, just use the real voice. No more of this hello detective.
Hello detective.
I kind of love that because of how bad it is, but I appreciate that you have, the first 7 and then 10.
Yep.
I also love that that's the poster for 10. It's not even really in the movie.
Look, we needed something for the X imagery. Fuck you.
Yeah. But we are going to end this here.